Hey, everyone. Hi, Lisa, Jessica, welcome. I am by the way, we've got laundry hanging here. We've had a couple of days of rain, and I'm just gonna blabber for a minute till we get people on. Did y'all hear? There's a big bolt of thunder, and it's quite divinely timed with this message. It was funny. Right when I hit live, I saw a flash, and I stopped. And I was like, "Ooh, did I see that?" Like when you question whether or not you see what you think you see, and that was confirmation that I did see it. The flash when I came on, and then because the thunder just rolled through, but it's pretty far away. The storm, because that was a pretty big space in between. But anyway, so if you're just joining, yes, we do have our laundry hanging in the kitchen. It's been raining in the balcony we have it on. We brought it into the second bedroom that we have, and because now we have little Turd, the dog that I shared about last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. I think it's been 2 weeks that we've had him here with us. We just keep the door shut so he can't get in there. And and then last night we brought the laundry in, and so like everything got all like condensation-y and damp in that bedroom. I went in today and tried to change to go for a walk, and I had zero clothes because everything was supposed to be drying, but everything was wet. So even the things in the room were wet. So anyway, we had to bring everything out to try to get some other air circulating. Okay, enough about drying laundry. Welcome everyone. Tara, Dominique, hi ladies, it's so good to see you. Kazembe, Liza, hello from Hawaii. Liza was thinking about you today, because I posted on Instagram. I'm not even lying. I woke up because I come out on this couch, for my little wake up sessions in the middle of the night, and then I just fall back asleep here. So usually I wake up here, and my eyes came open, and I looked out, and there was a rainbow right there. And I got up like giddy as anything. And I was like, this is the best way to wake up. But I've seen so many rainbows here since we've been here, and I don't know if it's normal. I want to believe that Bud and I brought the rainbows to Saranda. But Liza, I was thinking about you, because I'm like, man, I'd literally, like, I'll just be honest. I was like peeing, at the early morning pee, and I was thinking about you, Liza. I'm like, I wonder if she takes these things for granted. And I know you don't, but it's like having access to these many rainbows in such a short period of time has made me so giddy. So hopefully you guys don't take it for granted in Hawaii. You'd probably laugh at my giddiness at every time I see a rainbow here. But anyway, woke up to that, and I'm excited to share the experience I just had with you all in this last hour. So it's kind of confirmation for the message that came through this morning for you. Now I'm settling into this whole message, because it's really, I think is really beautiful. And because I actually experienced something in the physical world that has to do with the message, like, I'm pretty certain that we need to be tuned into this. I'm pretty certain this is important. So grab yourself a comfy place. It might be a little bit longer. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm really at a point of there's an urgency within me. Like, the energy that I'm feeling is an urgency, and it's not an urgency of like, be prepared. It's an urgency of pay attention. So I have notes, and I'm going to, because I think it's really important that I get this message straight and get it to you. So remember, we've been talking about the closing down of timelines and stuff, right? So that we're closing in and closing, or kind of exiting out of the timelines that we're still siphoning our energy behind the veil, so to speak, or behind the scenes in our everyday conscious awareness. Okay. So those timelines are being shut down. We've also talked about the split in realities, and how it's becoming more and more obvious. And we have the reality of the third dimensional, or that's one way to put it. We can also say, like, the physical world, the matrix world, the denser world, the world that was created in manipulation and deception, that world is starting to, it's not starting, it's dismantling. It's dismantling. Now we've seen these systems fall. We've seen these systems, the health and the financial systems. We've seen them have their ups and their downs, right? But what we are witnessing is the full dismantling of those systems, because that world is falling away quite literally because of these massive, massive increases in energetic frequency that our planet is orbiting into. Because of where we are in our orbit, it's starting to, right. I mean, this is kind of a briefing. Okay, this is a briefing for some of you are like, yeah, duh, we've been talking about this for months, but let me just kind of give some basics here, just in case someone's coming in for the first time or gets this recording is like, I'm not really sure if this is like for real. Are we talking about like spiritual stuff? We're talking about physical. We're talking about both, because we have really been ingrained and conditioned to separate the spiritual part of us and the energetic, but that's kind of, we'll include that in between, and the physical part of us. So we are really in this phenomenon in physical form as well as spiritual form. And this phenomena, which is the ascension, or where we are placed in our orbit, we are now fully aligned with the galactic center sun. That galactic center sun is blasting its frequencies, the highest frequencies of a source energy, the high frequencies blasting through our sun, picking up all of the energy that we would normally get through from the sun, right? On any given orbit day, we would get this sunlight. But now, because we are aligned perfectly, these rays now are coming through our sun and amplifying and flooding into our planet. And today is the alignment day with the galactic sun. So these light rays literally that have been coming in and flooding us for a year now, since 2012, but they've increasingly gotten more and more intense until this past year, where it's almost every single day we've just been hammered and hammered. And what was happening is we were hammering out all of the inner stuff, purging the inner stuff, all of our karma, really, all of the stored energy, the blocked energy, the ignored energy, the energy that we kind of want to turn a blind eye to. All of that dense stuff is now shaking loose to where you are having to face it, because this world down here was created and conditioned you into being in those heavier, denser, darker emotions, so that when you are in that place, you are in a life constricting energy, so you can't create openly and freely. This world now that's opening up, that's coming into physicality now, into physicality. It's been in consciousness and it's been in creation mode. It's coming into physicality now. And this world over here is the world where people live in those higher frequencies, life expansive frequencies, life expansive emotions of courage, willingness, joy, love. And it feels so like unbelievable and kind of airy fairy that it's hard to believe sometimes, but that's why it's so different from this world. And so this world is dismantling. The law of karma is now it's always taking place, but the law of karma is now becoming really, really evident in each individual's life and as a collective. So the law of karma is now playing out in your life, in your neighbor's life, in your kids' lives, in everything. So any karma that has not yet been cleared, and that means, the karma of the denser karma, but don't forget there's an opposite of that too. And there's like this amazing karma that you've accrued throughout your time. So depending on where you are right now in these massive flashes of light, We're gonna still keep getting into deeper into that, you guys. I know that's like the big question, like this solar flash thing, right? So going back to I lost my train of thought. Okay, it was right there. See, the solar flash thing, it's been so distracting. It's been like the spiritual world's distraction, I think. Like, say that, and people are clicking on stuff and wondering when it's coming and all of that, and really not being prepared for it. We have been being prepared for it, but it's like, like you don't want to jump into it. You've got to work your way into it. And that's what we're doing. And we're just about there. We're just about there. But here's the thing, the solar flash is first done in consciousness. I've been saying this from almost day one from doing these daily tune-ins. It is a thing in consciousness, and we have created it. It is now coming into physicality, and I have proof for you. I will show you what is happening. So yes, the solar flash is very, very close. It's imminent. But what pushes it into the critical mass point, into the full physical manifestation, so that we can get on with this split thing, is us coming together in consciousness. And the critical mass is 51% of humanity who sees enough light, who can hold enough light, hold enough truth in them, that pushes us over the critical point into the solar flash, which is simply, it's not a solar flash is going to burn and singe everything. Yes, there might be some, like, there's going to be some loss. There has to be some loss. But what the solar flash is a moment in time when I want to read what I wrote, because a flash of insight so great that it will make everything clear. Everything, just keep in your physicality right now, keep in your consciousness. Don't think about global things like, oh yeah, it's finally, they're going to see all of that. This is about you. You can't jump to like all the things you're excited for, the people you told the world's such a mess, and they didn't believe you, and now they're going to go see the mess. We're going to start with us first on this consciousness. And when this flash comes, everything about you is going to become clear. The good, the really good, and even like the uglier, denser things, it's going to become really clear in a flash. All of the areas of pain in your life suddenly come into view, so you are clear on how to heal them. And once that clarity comes, you are transported to your new world. So this solar flash is you've been getting the symptoms of it, which is, yes, has been aches and pains and all of the physical stuff, but it's also been the symptoms of are a rise in your consciousness, a rise in what you know, a rise in your wisdom, all of a sudden seeing things that you weren't able to see before. You have been experiencing this growth, you have been experiencing this evolution, you just maybe haven't thought about it like that. At the same time, you've been looking at your shame and looking at your guilt and looking at your fear and looking at your all these things, all this energy that you've packed away as this remembrance of some former life. Those, as the every time something like that heals, it closes down that timeline and can no longer siphon that away from you. You can't go back and change it, right? So you gotta be purging and closing that timeline. And then you come up even further and you're like, oh, here's some density. Oh, this again, here's that relationship thing. Here's a sex husband thing. All right, I'm gonna sit with it here. And then working through that purge, that timeline's done, it's cleared, and now you come up. Why are we doing all of that? Because it's quantum physics. This is where the science part, yes, it's a very spiritual, it's mostly spiritual that we're talking about here. It's consciousness, because everything starts with that. Every single thing is created from consciousness, from intention, from thought, right? And then it meets up with the emotion that fuels the thought. And that creates an electromagnetic field that then organizes all of the electrons, organize into physicality. We have had enough consciousness around this solar flash that it's starting to come into physicality. So the call for today, the call of this message, is for us to come together to reach the critical mass of 51%, to push us over the edge into inviting into physical form this solar flash that is going to heal as many people. And let me tell you, sometimes people go into the hospital to heal. I shouldn't even talk about the hospital because that is like the worst trigger for me, but I'm going to go there because it's a metaphor. You can go into the hospital to heal, and some people will not make it. They will not be able to heal. Their body is too far gone because they can't handle the physicality of the flash. They can't handle the emotional upheavals it will bring. It'll be, it could be very painful for some who have been so far in the dense world that to come out just a little bit, it's going to be harder for them, and they're not going to want to do the work. So we will have to say goodbye to some people, but that's not a goodbye. It's like, it's the craziest thing, like how we believe about death. But it's not going to be a permanent goodbye. It's going to be like, hey, I'll see you over there. And it's going to be a new evolution, a new soul contract. So it's not a goodbye forever. Okay. And then we're going to have those others, the others who are going to just be like receiving the light because they've done the work. This is going to be a joyful, exciting time. And it's going to be happening in waves. And people are going to be standing there being like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing. Like I was an hour or two ago out there saying, this is the greatest thing. This isn't painful at all. Because I know that I've worked, and I know that a lot of you have done your work to purge that crap, to get that crap out, those densities. You have done your working out. And the working out is now made you a fitness star of solar activity that you can take these solar energies in and like be like completely blown away by the beauty of it because it's not painful. But none of it has to take you so far into the pain. Like the pain is not going to be what kills you, it's not. Nature will never take you further than you can go. Your soul has to choose whether you go. But if this isn't it, then this is going to be the time where you might have to go dip down low. But when you come back up, you are going to be entering into that new world. And it's so hard for the human mind to understand because it feels like some just some, I don't know, some ridiculous story, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it unfold. And I don't know exactly what it looks like, but I can feel it. I can feel an urgency. I can feel a pay attention because this morning, hold on, I want to keep going back. Sorry, I want to stick to my notes. I'm doing a lousy job at it. It's really important to create the critical mass. Here's the, like, I need y'all to write this down or take notes or something, because this is the biggest part. How we move ourselves as a collective over the critical mass point is as whenever we can, we connect to our I am presence. The I am presence is the source presence of you. It's the unique expression of God, source, nature, whatever it is. It is like your soul, right? Your I am presence is your soul, and that soul is the minutest, smallest expression of source energy. This beautiful light coming in is source energy. So you are meeting it. And when you connect with it and you say to yourself, I am the I am presence, and I connect my I am presence. I'm unified. I'm one with the I am presence of every human being in the entire planet. And as I connect, I just simply call in peace for this world. I call in love. I call in this new earth. I don't know what it looks like or what it even is, but I call it in because anything at this point is a blessing. It brings us all up in humanity, and I bless all of humanity with everything they need, everything they want, everything they desire within reason, to give them more than enough, and enough to spare and share. And thank you for bringing this beautiful light and this beautiful energy to every single person on this call, on this recording, in this planet. Our I am presences now take us over the edge to the critical mass point where the solar flash can come in and bring healing of all kinds to every single human being, every single part of this planet. Everything all the way down to the crystal core of this planet is blessed with healing as we call in this light. Thank you. Blessings to all. Okay. Here's why I believe this is happening. Um, Bud and I we're sitting here I was doing an Instagram post, and quite frankly, at the time, very annoyed because me and social media just are we aren't really friends. I have a really fake relationship with it. But so when I go and actually post on there, I want to be as real as I can. I want to bring as much of me as possible so I can get in and maybe do one post and have it be something that really brings you a lot of value. So I can get out. Because if I just do half-ass stuff, then I feel like I've got to be on doing more half-ass stuff. So just know when I post on there, it's usually I've given a really good effort. So if you like it, just like it. If you don't, at least comment and help me with the engagement and be like, I didn't really like it. I'm fine with that. But just let me know you read it because that social media stuff. But anyway, I was doing that and working my way through it. And Bud was doing his art over here. He's been really doing some nice things. And all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, honey, look at that sun. Look at that sun. And it's been cloudy and rainy, as I said, for days now. And it's like I was like, whoa. And this is okay. I'm gonna try to do this. I have a dog hair on it. So it's hard to see it, but the light was as white as it looks. It like was totally white. And it was just like beaming down. I'm gonna leave. This is terrible. I need like people to help me with produce these things because I don't know how to do it. Okay, well the picture's not working. I posted it on Facebook, or not Facebook. I hate Facebook. Instagram. I don't hate much. I shouldn't have said that, but I don't know. I feel the demons in Facebook, so I don't go on there anymore. But this like literally was like this little beam of light, and it was so white. It was so white. But I'm just watching it. I didn't say anything to Bud yet because he gets annoyed with me because I'm always like, look at that, look at that, look at that. So it's like now it's moving closer, because the clouds are moving and everything's moving, and then all of a sudden it like the sun pops out, and I'm gonna keep this back here. I'm gonna keep it like I don't know, but I didn't do anything to these pictures. The sun was so weird looking. I mean, it was white, and I was looking right at it because really you can look at the sun for 8 seconds. You're supposed to an hour before or after sunrise and an hour before sunset. It's a healthy time to look at the sun for up to 8 seconds because that the light then is like full on light that hits the pineal gland. But you don't want to sit there and stare at it, but it's okay to look at it for a couple seconds. It's actually very healthy to do that. So anyway, so I was doing that, not in the ideal part of the day because I was literally burning my retinas, but I had to see it with my own two eyes, and it was so crazy weird looking. And then it was like changing. See, it won't even allow me to show you these pictures. All right. Well, anyway, so then it was like it was changing. It was changing shape, and I'm not even like I'm not showing. Yeah, like I know I sound crazy, but and then I'll just show you this last picture here because this was the coolest one. I don't. Oh shoot, you can't see it, but sorry. I'm trying to show you these pictures. It's the most annoying thing. Okay, go to Instagram and look at it there, and I'll put it up on Telegram too. But there was literally this beam of light coming down like from the sun, but it was like it was like an actual beam of light. And literally yesterday in my notes for the daily tune in, I was looking back from yesterday and I have are we being beamed up? That was my question to my guides. And beaming we're literally being helped up energetically to meet those higher levels of frequencies. You can see it on the Schumann resonance now. They're showing us everywhere that we are being supported. They're literally coming in. So what I know what was being seen by me today was the physicality of the solar flare coming in, the solar energy coming in, and it's almost like how but it's not the full thing, it's not the full effect yet because we haven't reached the critical mass. So when we reach critical mass of the 51%, connecting with your I am presence, when you see darkness, you connect in with that I am presence, and you connect in with the I am presence of every single human in humanity and every single being on this planet, and you just simply beam like beam light. If you want to invoke the violet flame, like I know it sounds crazy, but the violet flame of divinity is like what you do with when darkness comes. You just invoke the violet flame and just imagine a violet flame kind of burning all the density down. However you want to do it, it's important that you connect with the I am presence, connect your I am with your I am presence, and then connect into all of humanity and invite in this beautiful blast of clarity, this beautiful solar light. Invite it in any moment that you can think of, that when it crosses your mind, you do it. Because right now we are in the alignment with the golden, or the alignment with the galactic sun, and we've got these scalar waves coming in. It is prime time to manifest this solar light that brings in a whole new physical reality of our reality, of our dimensional reality. And at that point, we are now existing and like beyond anchored in, like we are it. We are the fifth dimensional in that realm, in that world at that point. Okay, I think that's a lot for me. I think I'm going to, one last thing. This is the most important part. Because of this alignment that we're in, and because of we are now like calling into physicality this solar flash, it's really important to know we are being given a sacred cosmic dispensation. And what this does is it's kind of a payment. It's like, here's a little bonus for you all. And that bonus is our like extra, kind of weighted energies, I want to say, like our frequencies that amplify the whatever we are. Every intention is amplifying every intention 1,000-fold. So right now is the time, like now, I'm not saying in the next 24 hours or 48 hours, like just do it now, and then do it again in the now, and do it again in the now. Like as much as you can stay in the intentionality of your I am presence in this very moment, we can pull in with every holy breath, right? It takes one holy breath for us to move into critical mass. And holy breath is delivering intentions of peace and love and and clarity and truth and trust and courage and bravery and all of those high vibrational emotions and all those high vibrational lifestyles that we are moving towards, and sustainability and all of that. If you are intending that in any given moment, it's amplified 1,000 times and 1,000-fold. And we can then in one holy breath, one more person just saying, and then I want peace. And all of a sudden it takes us over the edge and the solar flash comes. Darkness probably will be created, right? We've talked about this already on the daily tune-ins, weeks ago at this point. But darkness will come. But that darkness is the sign that it's working, right? It's darkest before the dawn of a new time, of a new world. So when it goes dark, that is exactly when we, as a whole, come together in that moment, in the I am presence, connecting in and calling in then the light. So whatever that is, the message I got on that was, you will know. You will know. So however this is going to go down, it's already starting to happen. I have evidence, and I also have the feeling. And when intelligence on both sides comes together and meets in resonance and says, yep, that's truth, I believe it. And I know that this is something's happening right now. So pay attention, stay aware, stay present, stay in the know, right? You're in the know. You don't have to fear this. No matter where you are, no matter what's happening, you don't have to fear this. It's kind of exciting. So just pay attention, okay? I'm sure there's probably more, but my nose is running. Purging, right? That's a big one. Okay, good morning. I'm going to take a sip of water, actually. Lots of good mornings. Hi, everyone. Okay. Tarla, good morning. Isabel, hello. Beautiful sun today. Last evening, the moon was odd and a very weird single cloud in the completely clear sky like I have never seen. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Like I'm telling you, just keep watching the skies, you guys. Just keep watching the skies. Interesting, Isabel. I haven't seen the moon, like the night sky, in the last few. Oh my gosh, it's so funny out. In the last few days, it's been days since we've been in the, but it's not like the depressing gray clouds. It's like these biblical like rain clouds and storm clouds. So it's been a completely different darkness to be in the last couple of days than we were in Ukraine. I love every rainbow we see, portal energy. And yes, oh, I was going to show you one of the pictures on the Instagram thing. I put on the Instagram thing, I put one of the pictures has literally a portal, and it was like the sun beaming down, and over here was like this little doorway. I was like, honey, and this like light was shining through down towards us. I was like, honey, there's a portal. And I don't know, he's awfully quiet, so I don't know if he's really like, I think he's kind of finally like, shoot, I think she knows what she's talking about. I think he's kind of just processing the fact that I'm not completely crazy. This might be a silly question, but do we need to be in direct sunlight for these upgrades? Good question. Yes is a massive answer. So why is like really loud? Because it's good if you're in your car and sun's coming in, like soak that stuff up, because that's really good. But literally, again, like I said, it's so funny you asked that, Marie, now that I think about it, because we were sitting on the couch and, like I said, doing art, and I was doing my Instagram stuff. And then I looked up and I was just kind of like looking at the light, and I was like, honey, I'm getting the feeling it's pretty important that we go out in the sunlight. And he got up right away, and we came in just like we just did it because we laughed at ourselves. We're like, he's like, this is so stupid, but he's like, like he doesn't say, he won't ever say out loud like, but I agree with you. But he was there with me next to him. We were both like, and I was like just having it beam on my third eye, and I was like literally like giving myself like I'd wash my hair, my crown chakra, like we were being goofy with it. We were just celebrating. So yes, I do get the feeling, and the message. It's very important. The more you can be out in the sun in this direct sunlight. And here's the other thing too, I think is really cool, because I've asked about the clouds. I'm like, why so many clouds? And especially here when there's no clouds, like it is all sky and like all sun, and it's like it's intense. It's over been too much for me. A couple of days where I'm like, I can't even like be in the sun anymore. But that's how we know. Like that's how we know. Okay, you've gotten enough charge for the day. You're good. But there's like the last couple of days, what the message I keep getting is the sunlight is so intense right now, intensely packed with these light packets, which we talked about weeks ago. Now you can go back and look at the daily tune in if you need to. But the light packets that are coming in are just like bombarding us. So the clouds are helping for us in this area. The clouds are helping to buffer the intensity, but still like it'll come out enough that we get as much as we need, and then they go back in. And so wherever you are, it's not like an 8-hour sit out in the sun 8 hours. It's sit out in the sun until you know that you've gotten enough, and you might just be given what you need, and that's it. So if it's cloudy or whatever in your area, there's a reason for it. So this flash isn't going to come and like what it would wipe us out if we weren't being helped through this. So we are being aided and supported by what we need to give us more, almost to the point where we might not like feel like we can handle it. So remember, like nothing happens to us that takes us further than we can handle. So whatever that means, like that could be a lot of different things, and not necessarily bad things, right? So we're going to be taken as far as we can go, but they're also helping to buffer some of it so it doesn't take us further than we can go. So we are fully safe. It's all good. It really is all good, although it's just so different from anything we've ever known, from anything we've ever experienced, from anything we've ever been taught, anything we've ever seen. So it's like it's hard to wrap our human minds around it, but yet our spiritual souls, like we know something's going on. And those of us who are tuned into, to the unseen world, like we can see something brewing, but because it's like not it, we know it's not brewing in a way that we've ever seen before. So it's kind of hard to explain it. So it's a discombobulating time, but in a really, really beautiful way if we're tuned into this world. If we're tuned into the world of wars and all of that, there's going to be a lot of fear. And there are a lot of people that are very much anchored and embedded in that fear, and they won't be able to handle something that literally blows their mind, right? We know that there are many people who have such a closed mind to the only thing they ever have known. So when something takes them out like this, it's going to be too much. So we have to hold that line, and we have to be the ones that offer support, that speak up, right? And aren't afraid to finally say, like, there's something crazy happening. Don't worry about it. If you really want to know, I can tell you, like, don't spew it on people. Ask for permission, and when permission is granted, give it to them in, a 30-second speech. If that's all you have, sit down, invite them to dinner, whatever it's going to take. It's not to convince them that, oh my God, the world's against you. It's like, hey, did you hear about this going on? Because it's to the point now where people need to, like, expect that something big's coming their way, and then it's okay. How 24, wow, 24 peeps here. Yay, good morning. Hi, Sharon. I wonder what will happen to my parents. I don't know. They know. They know. Laura, you are absolutely right. This is what's happening. We are purging everything from the physical reality so we can hold the flash, and the grand shift occurs. Yeah. The other thing too with, like, holding the light, like, what does that really mean? And I feel like I'm on the other side of, like, the big purge, and I've felt peace, and I've talked about it. I felt peace more than, like, I have ever in my entire life for like, like an extended period of time, like in just a couple weeks. So I've had, like, weeks worth of, like, pure peace, and even that has been, like, exhausting, and I've talked about that, but it is I'm like, man, this is a lot of work just being at peace, and I can't really explain it, but except for my body doesn't know what this feeling is. It doesn't understand it, because my physical body, and I was so fragmented for so long, like many of us have been. I've been the overworked, whatever. I've been the mom. I've been the, like, struggling to like create something, and do this, and I've been, a girlfriend, and then a new wife, and then I've been a divorcee. I've been, like, all of these things, and so fragmented that I lost myself. And now that I'm, like, in a place where I feel like I know myself and I'm at peace with every single thing in my life, my body's like, "What is this?" Like, "This is amazing, but oh my gosh." So holding the light is exhausting. So light is really those emotions that are courage and willingness and love, joy, bliss, all, like, everything that comes in a life expansion phase. And holding the expansion every single moment of every single day, that's really exhausting too. But that is what we're getting used to. So if you are so exhausted and you're at peace, you're like, what is going on? And it's also because you are now helping with the cleansing and clearing of the collective. So there's still a lot. We are still doing a lot of work to be able to hold this light and ground it down. So when the big flash happens at any minute now, like, we can just stand there and receive it, and not freak the hell out, and just be like, what is this? We will know, and we will be able to be with it. There aren't going to be many, not many, but there are going to be people who just can't be with it because it's just too much. Holding the light is still a lot of work and conscious effort. So keep with it. You guys, we're almost at critical mass. Like, one more breath literally is what I keep hearing, is like, one more breath takes it over to the critical mass point. That's so exciting. And that's motivation for me to just be in the moment, moment to moment, connected with my I am presence, putting music on, dancing around, reminding myself I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for you, the I am presence. And my I am presence is connecting with the I am presence of all of humanity and this planet. So if we would just do that for 24 hours, I don't know. Do you think maybe we can push it over? I kind of think we can. And I also think it'd be kind of it's not a bad experiment to make, right? Let's do an experiment for humanity that actually takes us into a higher realm of existence and into a place of peace and health and joy. I don't see anyone else doing that in that third dimensional world. So let's do an experiment, a 24-hour experiment, and just be in the full connection of the I am presence and see what we can create. The sun has been like that here in Florida too. It's go time. I've been feeling it the last day or so. Time to go to do what we have been preparing for. Yes, Brenna, my voice is shaky. Just means there's a lot of energy coming out. How do I talk myself out of the fear? Like Sharon, what just keeps coming to me is to sit with it, to go right to the crisis moment. I've talked about it here too, and I think you've probably been here for one of those conversations or two, is to go like the deepest fear that you have around whatever. This is like those timelines that I'm talking about. Whatever that timeline is, whatever that whatever timeline is, I think you said with your parents, sit with it in consciousness and sit with the biggest fear that you have until you have faced the hardest part of it and you've gone the deepest you can. And then you'll start to feel yourself rising up. And then you get to a point where you then realize, holy crap, that isn't my reality. And the fear then dissipates because you've already faced the deepest fear. So whatever happens in in this reality that is unfolding in this flash, whatever happens, you are at peace with it. And it's so hard to put it into words and have it make sense. But the only way to get through fear is to sit in the biggest crisis moment that you're afraid to look at, and just look at it and feel it and feel the anxiety and the pain and the panic, whatever it is. And then breathe it in and breathe it out, ground it down, breathe it in, breathe it out. When you get to that place of like full on panic, remember, you're not going to be taken further than you can go. And you're at that panic zone of that fear is about to overtake you. And then you'll realize, and you just start breathing from that frenetic fear. Blow it out, through your nose. And it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller until you come back into the present moment. And at that moment, you're going to know that A, that's gone, that fear is gone, and B, that is not my reality. That is not the timeline I'm on. And at that point, you just close down that timeline that you have just breathed through. You've just done the work to close down. That's all this is. And I don't mean to diminish it, because I've been there and I will be there again, and I will not fear it, because I'm like, this is what we do. We sit down and bring me the worst case scenario, but into my consciousness, into my reality, not into my reality, into my consciousness, because consciousness creates reality. Reality is just this movie of what we've already done in consciousness. So if something in your reality isn't all that exciting, you've already created it in consciousness. You have created it. So you can change it. So you can just face it. Go to the worst case scenario, sit with it, stare it in the eye, breathe it out, breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it in, breathe it out, until it's lessened and it's lighter, it's lighter, and then invite in the lesson. What is it I am here to learn from this fear? What is it showing me? And once you have the light of it, you face the darkness of it, and you gain the light of it, the lesson of it, that's when you can close that down. And reality will shift and show you something else that you put your thoughts and energy into. that are of the life expansive kind, because the life expansive kind are electromagnetic fields where the electrons start to maneuver and organize into reality, into your projection of reality. The clouds do look like Sistine Chapel clouds when you show us your phone as you move it away. Oh, you can see it? Okay. Because I was looking at the reflection, it didn't look like it, and I thought it was probably more distracting than anything. Yes, we've been feeling called to go out in the sun even when it's cold past. Yeah, it's been colder here too, which I think is interesting. I don't know. I haven't really gotten an answer on that, but there's something to that because it's been beautiful, warm here, and all of a sudden it's got the cold and this like stormy kind of weather. Total cloud cover yesterday with massive snowfall the day before. Big bright sun for only an hour when I stumbled into the sunlight in my studio. Yesterday, tears dropped from my eyes like a river. Good, Michelle. That's perfect. You're just like, oh, don't cry. I'm like, cry. I will always tell you to cry. So, yeah, purging. We're purging it out. Like all of those densities are still those last minute things. You're like, oh, here's this again, but it's not like, oh, this again. It's still so hard. Now it's like, oh, this again. It's just like the nuisance kind of energy that's like making its way out. So just trust this process. It was literally like a river. I had to go to the post office. Oh, I had to go to the post office yesterday too. It was horrible, but it was actually okay. I dreaded it more than I actually like the experience was, which was another lesson for me. But I felt waves of intense anxiety all weekend while I was on my trip, like bigger anxiety than I've ever felt, like waves and nausea all weekend long. I don't think it was all no, Tara, it wasn't. And this weekend was super, I actually thought about you. That it was super intense because I was like, man, I'm glad I'm at home and I can just like ride the wave of this and like kind of knowing that you were on your trip and you gotta like be on a little bit, but also be like taking in these energies. I was like laughing at the thought of you being like, oh, like electrified by these energies. But it doesn't surprise me that you did feel nauseousness because there was a huge jump in these frequencies. So remember, when we jump in frequencies, we jump in like dimensional realities. We like our frequency jumps up too, and it's a shock to the system. So it's like it's as if you're on a roller coaster. So there will be some nausea as well. I'm leading gentle night yoga meditation on Monday nights. That's pretty cool. And I'm inviting all different types of people, and it's wild to me who's open and who's not open and ready for the healing help. Yeah, that's just it. Like now it's kind of like a solo trip. I hear it's like this, like it's every man for himself, but not in like save yourself kind of thing. It's every man for himself in like just being aware of your consciousness, being aware of what it is that you are, what this now moment is bringing you. This is not now. We've passed the time where we're trying to teach and to say, we're past that savior. We're not the saviors. We are the saviors of our own spirit. And when we do that, we do it for all. So it literally is just being in the present moment and leading the way, just leading the way. Yesterday was a hugely tearful day. Unlabeled emotional tears just flooded out and washed out wherever needed. Interesting. Yesterday was a day of tears, it sounded like. Goosebumps at the fear coaching you just did for us. Oh, thank you. I can't recall what that is. Like it's not like diminishing. I was just like, that's interesting. It wasn't my coaching, I guess, because I don't even remember what it just was. And I love that. And I'm grateful that I get to be a vessel of that and not take credit for it. So my I am present says, thank you, Sharon, at that. And it hears you. Lisa says, if the entire human race thought love and peace all in 1 nanosecond, that would be such a shift. That we would dream of, like shift or what? Like, exactly. But we're so close. Like and I always get frustrated with like, it's so close. I'm like, like what are we talking? Are we talking like my close? That means like within the hour, I'm ready to receive. But in the grand scheme of like universal timeline, like, I mean, close could be 250 years, like that is not okay with me. So like the whole soon thing. But like when I say soon, it feels like it's my version of soon. Like it feels really soon. And I really And I also believe that for the world, like there's enough going on where people are just like, enough already. It's time for peace. It's time for love. It's time for joy. It's time for, wherever, like whether it's protest or just in general, people are just done with the gunk, and they're not afraid to face it. And I'm not talking about wars and stuff. I'm talking about like our own house, meaning our own multidimensional. There are so many people that are finally waking up being like, I am done putting on this facade. I'm done working this stupid job. Like, whatever. I'm at peace with whatever happens if I walk away from it. The pain of the fear of leaving or the fear of moving on is now, what is that saying? Is now greater, or you know what I'm saying? I'm totally jumbling the whole thing. When the fear of leaving overcomes the fear of staying. Anyway, I really wanted that to be the point. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just now people are like, I'm willing to figure out what this looks like to change it because I can't even deal with it. I can't hide it anymore. I can't ignore it anymore. It's just done. So that's an exciting thing. And when people are just done, they're going to do exactly what I did, 14 years ago on the beach of South Carolina. I literally went out to my knees and I was like, I am done. My life is in shambles. God, I don't even know if you exist, but if you do, I need some peace. I just want to be a good mom. That's all I matter. And like right now, all I want to do is be a good mom. So nothing has changed, but my prayer is still help me be at peace. Help me be in love. Help me be this, and this. And with enough people finally coming to their knees right now, if they're just starting their journey and they're saying, I want some peace, and we are all ready, all of us know what the hell is going on. We are on it. And we've already been doing this and we're operating now in the next 24 hours and just being like, I am pulling in peace. I am knowing peace. My I am presence is connecting with every other I am presence in this planet. And I know we are peace and I know we are love and I know where we're going and I know we're safe. And there's still people like, I don't know if you exist, but if you do, I just want peace. And all of a sudden it takes one more person to drop to their knees to say, all I need is peace. And it's the critical mass. That's what we're working towards. Can we keep it up for 24 hours and just experiment with this, please? I'm going to do it. And it's not going to look like me being on my hands and knees, uncomfortable and praying. I'm going to be doing art. I'm going to be just celebrating and making dinner with my husband and doing the things that bring me joy and being with these dogs. So it doesn't have to be like some reverent thing. It can just be your life, but done in a reverent, intentional way, connected with your I am presence. And when we do that for 24 hours, I really believe we can push this over the edge. And I look forward to sending you pictures tomorrow because I'm ahead of you and I'll have a whole day ahead of you guys. And I'm going to be like, look, now the beam is, because the beam isn't all the way down to the water. That last picture on Instagram, go look at it. The beam comes down, but it doesn't go all the way down to the water. So the goal is to make the beam get to the water through consciousness. And I don't know what that means, but let's just see. And we'll see what kind of fun pictures we can develop by tomorrow. So let's just experiment with this. The worst that can happen is we bring more love and peace into the world by our experiment. Okay, I think we can handle that. We are an amazing collective. We are an amazing, amazing source of source energy, of souls. Like, we are an amazing pool of souls that can do a lot for this world in the next 24 hours. And I firmly and expect that we will do just that. So keep your eye on the skies today. I want to see your pictures. I want to see your revelations, whatever that looks like. Share them with me because we're all in this together. And the pinned post at the top says the gathering, the Ascension Circle gathering is tomorrow, and that's a mistake. It's actually this Saturday. So you got a couple days to become a part of the Ascension Bank to come to our members conversation, because I think we're going to be talking a lot about this and what our experience has been at that point. So who knows where we'll be at that point. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be an interesting week. So just do this with me. So much love to you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Please share this message so that people get it. Okay? Thanks.